Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is by you. Today we are looking at a game called Karma Keepers. And it's an interesting little game to look at that I wanted to show for a couple of reasons. First of all, I think the tutorial needs to be a little less intense and a little less too saturating. And secondly, because I think this is a really complex game that needs to be trimmed down a little bit. And these are two ideas I wanted to share while still showing a good game that I think you should come and play. The link is obviously in the description in the usual process. Let's maximize the screen and let's jump in and have a look at the game. We're going to show off some gameplay in the usual way, and then we're going to give a little bit of critique that I've already mentioned, and hopefully we have a good time in this video. Click or press any key to start. It does a quick load. I have tried this on Firefox. It worked absolutely fine, and we are now trying it on Chrome. So as you can see down at the bottom right, there's the Discord link, there's the Steam link where you can go and I think wishlist something, and there's the X link, the formerly known as Twitter link, and there's also a wishlist on Steam button here. So they're really pushing for you to go and have a look at the game on Steam, which I think is probably a reasonable thing to do. I think it's a good game with a lot of potential, and hopefully we can unlock some of that potential. Or perhaps I'm just being arrogant and stupid. Who knows? Let's have a look at the credits. The credits currently don't have anything in them yet because, there's more important things to work on when you're working on a new game. The developer does say that this is in a kind of an alpha state. He calls it an alpha demo. And there's lots of different terms that different people use. Alphas, betas, prototypes, demos, etc., etc. I think it's a demo, but it's a very early stages demo. Alpha demos is an absolutely fine term there. But let's see what you all think. Right, we're going to. What happens if we click on that? Okay, nothing. It just highlights when you mouse over it. It's quite nice, and I like the fact that it highlights behind the text. That's pretty good. All right, let's click on Start Game and have a look. So we're getting the tutorial, and what the tutorial is it's a lot of text that hops up and kind of gets in your face, and then highlights different parts. And I felt it told me a lot of stuff, but it was too much, overstimulating, overwhelming, and too much came in, and I didn't understand any of it. We'll talk about that a little bit more later, but let's go through it. So, welcome to Karma Keepers. This realm is simple, but it's yours. Gather followers to grow your influence and earn as much karma as possible. Make your realm incorruptible. So we have totems, which is our kind of center of worship in the center of the map of the screen. So this is our totem. It's a center of worship and prayer in your realm. The totem generates spiritual energy over time. When it's full, collect it to unlock or improve blessings. It didn't work the way I thought it was going to work, but still, it's something. As you can see, here is the totem in the center of the screen. If you look through the fuzz, we are looking kind of at the center of the screen over there. So it's the center of our map is where the totem is. Spiritual energy. Your collected spiritual energy is shown at the top of the screen. Energy left on the map decays over time. If it expires, you only recover half its value. Essentially you click on the totem, and it spits out the energy, and then you have to kind of mouse over the energy to then collect it. It's a bit of a fiddly mechanic that I don't particularly like. But we'll talk about that in the critiques. But anyway, so this is our energy bar at the top. Currently we have 0. Blessings. So that is the currency to buy blessings with. And blessings are a little sort of immediate upgrade tree for the session that we are playing. So we get enough energy to buy our way through a tree of upgrades that do various different kinds. Like this, the typical tree. So if we mouse over this one, this is the one that we can buy, and the moment we buy 1 point in that, it unlocks all of these. And you can only run, I think, sort of 8 blessings to start off with, so you have to be kind of picky about which ones you choose, but you can't see which ones you choose because they're all anonymous. And I don't know why people make it anonymous. Show us the whole tree just grayed out so we can look at things and we can choose pathways towards things that we decide that we want as we learn the game better and better. I don't know. I mean, that's my feeling, but but maybe there is a charm in having it anonymous. I don't know. I don't understand it. I'd love to hear from you guys what you think about that. Yeah, so upgrades in essence, and we can only have 8 to start off with, but there are ways to increase that number, which is through talents, which I thought was going to be the next thing. That would have been cool if it was, but instead it's karma. Karma is kind of the score that we are trying to earn. The more karma we have, the closer we get to the end. Once we get to the end, we can invite an eternal, who will manage your realm, and then we can win, quote unquote, win the game, or at least win the round, as it were. Souls are these little figures that trundle around in the realm. They can either be white ones who are sort of neutral, or they can be blue ones which are kind of on our side, or they can be red ones which are the enemy. We need to try and get rid of the red ones and turn all the white ones into blue ones. That's sort of the name of the game, as it were. 3 types of souls: neutrals, our followers, and then corrupted souls. These are the neutrals. There are effects that make them more and more corrupted over time goes on, so we need to actively try and turn them into keepers. So the bar below each soul, which is not actually showing us here in this tutorial, sort of says where they are in that state. So it'll either be a white bar, or there will be red on it, or there will be blue on it. And if you kind of hold down the mouse button and click on the soul, it steadily increases the blue and reduces the red, and you can then turn them, if they're white, into blue ones. If they're red, you essentially destroy them. It's very sad, but that's what happens. So these are the ones that are lost. You can't save them, but you can then you can destroy them. Unfortunately, get them out of your realm. So these ones just wander around. I think these ones, is that a warrior or is that a evangelist? I'm not sure which one's which. One of these attacks your blue souls, and one of these approaches the white souls and tries to make them more red too quickly. So you got to get rid of these as quickly as possible. So your realm is free of the corrupting influences, other than the sort of generic corrupting influence that happens every so often. These are your guys, and there are different kinds of blue of your guys, who basically send energy to your totem, which only charges up to 1,000, but you can do other things which makes it charge more, and getting the energy out of it is quite tricky. So yeah, but I mean, the main reason to have the blue ones around is to boost the influence in the realm, and that, I think, affects the karma. I'm not quite sure how it translates into karma. Okay, more influence means faster karma growth. So the more you have, the faster this bar will go up and get towards you winning. And the influence is the percentage of souls in your realm who are on your side. And now we have corruption waves. So every time this ticks down, this pulse goes out and drops the faith of everybody in the realm, all the souls, and they can then turn back into neutrals and then into the bad guys who you can't get rid of. So you have to keep an eye on what your souls are doing and make sure that they're all staying blue, which again is fairly tricky to do, but we'll look at that as we go in. But yeah, so this thing ticks every so often and tries to convert your souls negative, and I don't think you can stop this, but you can maybe increase the time that it takes between waves, so you can slow it down a bit. Maybe, I think, in the blessings, or maybe in the talents. Now, once you have converted all of your souls into blue, you have a limited number of souls. There's no more white ones, there's no more red ones. How do you get more souls? Well, you open the realm gates, and there will be a number of souls waiting. So a certain number of white, I don't know if blue ones come in with it, and a certain number of red ones. And so if you open the gates, they will all come in, and you'll need to chase around and get rid of the red ones and convert all the white ones to blue ones. There is also a possible incursion that will happen, where a whole bunch of red ones will come in, and you'll have to kind of get rid of them quite urgently. It'll be a major task that you'll have to perform. And then you have demons, who are like the super bad guys. I don't think I've seen a demon, so I'm not sure how you deal with them. yeah, the incursions I think are bad news, and the demons are probably even worse news. And then you have talents. Now, this game does have a roguelite mechanism where when you finish the round, you can restart the next, restart the round from the beginning, except that the talents carry across. So every time you have talents, if you start a new round, the talents will then boost how well you do at the beginning of the round, and you'll be able to perform even better. I suppose the meta goal is to kind of max out all your talents. I gather there's very limited talents at the moment because this is very much an alpha build. But yeah, so this is the roguelite element that carries over, and you need to do things, I think, to earn the talents or talent points that you can then spend. There's no sort of upgrade limit. Unlock them by earning karma or collecting spiritual energy. So something will then give you a talent. I think that's a talent point in the middle of the karma bar. So possibly the only one in this version of the game, but I mean, I'm sure the game version is going to go up soon. So when you get your karma to that point, a talent will appear, and it's a powerful upgrade that'll carry through to the next attempt at the game. There's no limit to unlock them, and they do. You can rebirth your realm, and then you will use the talent point that you have unlocked. Right, so that is the end of the tutorial, and as you saw, it was just a lot of text that kind of showed bits of the screen but didn't really show it in context to the rest of the screen. So I think the tutorial, as mentioned in the comments by another player, could do with a lot of work. So that would be my primary critique, is teach your players more gently. So not specifically a critique for this game, but just a statement on tutorial design. Remember that this is the introduction to your game, and will teach, it will set the players' perspective on your game. So if your players have a good time in the first 30 seconds to a couple of minutes of your game, they will think this is a great game, and even if the rest of the game is crappy, they will mentally, unconsciously make excuses for the crappiness for their good game. However, if they have a bad sort of start to playing your game, for that sort of from the first few seconds to the first few minutes, if that's negative, then they will see everything in your game as bad, even if the rest of the game is really good. So it's very, very important to make that initial impact of your game as kind of positive and fun as possible, because then your players will go, what a great game, and they will enjoy it, and they will tell their friends, and blah 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 blah. So tutorials are very, very important to get right, to get comfortable and smooth and easy, and just really hold your player's hand, lead them in, show them the world, and go, this is how you play, aren't you going to have such a great time? And then they will. That's so tutorials, focus on your tutorials if you're a game maker. Right, so this is us, and here we have our game world, and here we have souls wandering around. So the first thing we do is we can just hold down the mouse button and convert the souls with the boop 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 noise. And there's some more over here, and as you can see, they have faith, and then you want to, when they do convert, their faith is very low, so you want the light blue bar to go in there and then fill up, and then once you stop blasting them, the light blue will then get replaced by dark blue. Oh, and now you have negative souls, so you got a zap, choop 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 choop. He's wandered off the bottom of the screen. So it's right click to drag around and move your view. And we'll talk about that in a moment. Let's try and get rid of these guys. And chum chum chum, and then they eventually pop once their green kind of health bar or whatever has gone. And then go boom, and then let's convert these guys while we're here. Where did that one wander off to? Why don't one of them keep splitting off? You can see on the minimap where everyone is. Oh, he's nearly converted. Just saving him. So look at these guys. Oh, there's a bad one. Let's chum 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 him. Alright, got rid of those ones. Let's convert these guys. Oh, they were getting quite red. And our countdown is coming for the attempted handover. Let's make sure these guys are full of blue, because the pulse is coming. As you can see, there's 100 seconds left. I see some white dots up here on the minimap. Oh, where are you going? I do wish they wouldn't wander off the edge of the screen. It's really annoying. Let's just top these guys up a bit. Okay, they're looking pretty good. Now our influence is 92%, which means there is something somewhere that is... And I don't know if it's anything to do with their negativity. Oh, there's the red dude there. I'll get rid of him. Alright, so we're at 100%. That's good. And we got a countdown of 50 seconds before we get further. So what we can do is we can collect some energy. So if we hold down the mouse on this, it spits out energy furiously. And we get a few stats about it as well. And then if we just mouse over this, you don't even have to hold down the mouse button. That's how we pick it up. Meanwhile, our various minions are slowly increasing our charge. Alright. We've increased that. How are you doing? You're fine. Oh, and there went the corruption pulse. So, did we lose anyone? Doesn't look like it. But we can just top them all up while we're about it. He was a bit low. And we can keep getting some energy. Right, so now we have 160 in energy, and we can go to our blessings page, because this one costs 100 energy to start off with. Okay, and it just, so this is our first upgrade and the only one we can choose, and it says reduces the time that each keeper takes to send energy to the totem, so it boosts how quickly our totem recharges basically. And so if we hold down the mouse button and we purchase that, so we're now out of faith, as it were, but we've unlocked new things. Soul reduces delay between soul waves. Do we want to reduce that? I don't know. I don't understand. Increase the chance the keeper upgrades into a prayer. I think that's quite valuable, so we probably want 200 energy for that. Determine spirit pulled per totem by each hit, so we can probably get more energy out of the totem while we're mousing over it. Spirit expiration time increases the time. Okay, so once we've popped out some spirits, some blessing, faith, currency, it takes a little bit longer before it disappears. It doesn't really increase it by very much, but that's fine. Increases chance keeper upgrades into a warrior. So we can have a prayer who boosts our blessings income, or we have a warrior who I think can go and attack the red guys, so we might want that. And then every time we kill off a little red guy, we can get some spirits, some currency from that as well. So interesting upgrades. We need to make some more spirit, but let's check on our dudes, because we're down to 90. Yeah, dudes, I don't know why they insist on running around the edge of the screen for some reason. Let's boost them. Okay, you're full. How are you guys doing? You're pretty much full. You're all full. Alright, let's get some more blessings. Alright. Pick these up. This is actually ready. I don't find this particular gameplay mechanism that much fun. I think the whole blessings currency increase thing could do with some fine tuning. Trying to get up to 200 so I can get some prayer dudes coming in, or maybe some warrior dudes. But I do remember that when you pick up your talent point, you actually do get quite a bit of blessings of currency, spirit, whatever we want to call it. Oh, there went the thing. Let's check on our people. Okay, it didn't do too much damage. How you doing, dude? You guys are pretty full. Let's check you guys out. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, now I think we're relatively safe from that, is I am actually going to open the gates. Let's bring some souls in, shall we? So we click open the gates, and the guys came in. Let's boost you up. So we have more people here. Oh, destroyed my dude. Yeah, alright. So that I think is a warrior. Let's get rid of this guy. Do we see any more red dots anywhere? There's one. And let's convert these guys. Oh, there's a red dot down there. Leave my people alone. Alright, any more red dots anywhere? Any more white dots? There's a white dot. Let's convert this guy. Alright, we're up to 100%. So I think we lost a couple of people there, which is not ideal. But I think we gained some more, which is helpful. But that might have been a mistake, because I kind of want warriors. Let's get up to 100. Actually, what do we need to get some warriors? Oh, we need 1,000. Alright, so we're not going to get warriors, but let's get a prayer dude. I think he boosts our... Yeah, I see the tactics and the strategy here are a little unclear. We might as well get that anyway, just to... Maybe we should get that. 230. Oh. Now, this mechanism is very satisfying. I mean, it's nice to make the things come out and then mouse over them just to collect them. I mean, that is a nice mechanism, but is it not like a bit fiddly for the gameplay? So I would, I don't know. Yeah, let's get the prayer dudes, so we get those. And I can't read what this one is, it goes off the top of the screen, unfortunately. Don't know. Don't know. But our thing is up there. We're about to get our totems. Oh, there's our prayer dudes. Alright, so the pulse is out there. Let's top all of our people up. I do like how they sort of form little groups and wander around in a group. That is actually quite satisfying. I do wish they were a little more sort of in the center of the screen though. That might be... Oh, there's our totem. So, I mean, totem, our talents. There's our talent. We can choose a talent. Initial spirit, reduce shadows damage. Shadows deal half their damage to keepers. I mean, that's quite valuable. Start your roll with 34 lost souls. Oh, and we can unlock more blessings. Expand the map area by 2 times, increasing the number of totems available. That's interesting. Increase the totem capacity. And unlocks new blessings in some branches, increases the number of levels available for most blessings by 2. I like the idea of a bigger realm. Why can I not select it? Is it because it is locked? Start with more spirit. Start with more souls. See, I can't collect any of these. It's not letting me. Hold to unlock. Yeah, can't do it. Okay. Not quite sure how that is working at the moment, but we're doing pretty well. I mean, our karma is climbing. How are our dudes all doing? They're doing fine. How are these dudes doing? Come on, let me unlock my talents. No, it's not letting me click on any of them. I'm not quite sure what that is about. Maybe you can only do it. Hold on, shift and click. No. Don't quite understand that, so that might need to be included in the tutorial. How are my dudes doing here? They seem happy. Oh, he did a prayer. Oh, and I got 1,000 energy for picking up the talent point, so I can get a bit of that. Be nice if the prayer dudes picked up the spirit stuff. Let's go get a blessing. Why can I not buy you? Why are you locked? What happened? Why are you locked? The price is 1,000k. We've got more than that. I don't understand why these are locked. I suppose maybe because it's a demo. It needs to put a little bit of text on there saying this is locked because it's a demo. What are you? Prayers percent. Spirit and damage. Let's get that. Make the cursor a bit bigger. That's quite nice. Let's do that. The pulse is going to happen. Let's look at that in a moment. Alright, so it just chipped a little bit of health off there. Max all these guys out. Oh. Are those prey guys or warriors? Don't know. Can I get my talent yet? I'm sure I was able to get the talent in Firefox. Maybe something's broken, or maybe I'm just misremembering. I don't know. Again, just a reminder to everyone that this is very much a a demo. It is a trial version of it. I like how my guys are collecting up here. It's odd but cute. The Soul's movement is very, very good. Very, very enjoyable. What is E? Spirit view, totems view. Okay, so we can hide the totem. Does it show a spirit? Yeah, it does. They're just little dots. I wonder if you have warriors and the warriors go and fight enemy spirits, if that, well, enemy souls, if that then kicks out spirit. I'm not sure. I just want to see what happens when my karma reaches the maximum. Karma tier 1 of 4. We'll see how that happens in a moment. Blessings, can I get any blessings? I can upgrade blessings. Not sure why these are locked. I think that might be a demo thing. We've got 4 of 8 blessings, so we definitely still have room for it. I'm quite sad that these aren't upgrading. And there's our dudes giving some birth. Should I open the gates? Okay, well, let's wait until after the corruption timer. And we'll see. That shouldn't convert anyone. I think everybody's pretty maxed out. Oh, he was a little bit low. And this dude's doing his little thing. Let's spit some more spirit out, shall we? Doing pretty good. What should we bless? We had warriors, but we do not. Come on, karma, climb faster. Now we'll open the gates after this like spirit pulse thing. Let some more people in. We need to get rid of the reds as quickly as possible. Once we get in there, that's a phrase people haven't used since. Well, actually, I'm sure that's a phrase that some people do use, right? There goes the pulse. Just chop everybody back up again. Alright, let's open the gates. Look at all that spirit coming out now, damaging him. Nice. Where's Red? There's one over there. Let's get rid of him. Alright, there's one down there. Leave my people alone, you scumbag. Oh no, he's gone off the edge of the screen. Oh, any more red dots anywhere? There should be one more. There he is, there. It is unfortunate how you can actually go, oh, he's getting people off the edge. Let's convert these guys so long while we can. Has the red come back? Oh, there he is there. Alright, so we've gotten all of the bad guys off. Now I get that the spirit, once you do spit it out, and it does convert them. I mean, once you do spit it out into the sort of the world, but you haven't picked it up, it does eventually get kind of self-picked up, but just for sort of half its value. Alright, you're filled up. We're back up to 100% maximum. Just make sure everybody's all topped up. was all full. Yeah. You're full. Oh, you weren't full. You're a prayer person. You shouldn't be losing faith. You're the one responsible for the other faith. And you... Yeah. Alright, so everybody's full, and we should be reaching the end of the karma any moment now. And that will be the end of our thing. Just looking more at the UI, we've got some controls over here. We have the full screen button that doesn't do anything. We have the music button that doesn't do anything because there's no music yet. Oh, karma tier unlocked. Alright, so we've only unlocked one tier of karma. So we're not... I don't know if this one... Is this one even increasing anymore? Let's leave it for a moment. But that is going to be all of the gameplay I'm going to show specifically for gameplay. So if you're just here for the gameplay, hopefully you're still here, even though this has been a bit of a drag. But as you can see, there is somewhat of a game here, and a lot of potential for where this game is going to go, and I'm very, very excited about it. However, if you are just here for the critiques, well, we'll talk about that in a moment. Just beforehand, don't forget to like if you like the video. Don't forget to dislike if you dislike the video. I mean, let me know, and then leave a comment telling me what you liked or what you disliked, enough to make you click the button, so I can get better at making videos. I really want to hear from you guys. I want to know what's going on. And yeah, if you like watching videos about indie games, drop a subscribe, because I try to maintain at least one a day, and I think that's quite important. What's this over here? No dots there. Not sure. Yeah. I think it's just ambient noise in the background. Anyway, yeah, so I try to do one a day, so if that sounds like it appeals to you, drop a subscribe. Let me know what you want to see in the comments once you have subscribed. And thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it a great deal. Right, so onto the critiques. First of all, the UI and the tutorial. Like I said before, the tutorial, and there was a guy who left a comment just before I started recording this. Well, not just before, but there's a comment there, the top one in the comments, that it gave some really, really good advice about improving the tutorial. So go and read that comment, I guess, and listen to what he has to say. But the basic thing is slow the tutorial down, slow the gameplay down, have like a tutorial phase where you just have one soul and you learn how to convert him, and then you have your totem. Your totem then appears, and then you learn how to get faith out of it, and you learn to spend it in blessings, and more souls come in, and enemy souls, and you learn how to destroy them. Sort of take the players through step by step. Yes, this is an alpha demo. Obviously, that kind of thing is not really here for this stage of the game development, but seriously consider that for future developments, and as soon as possible, because you want your potential players, your test players, to really enjoy the game as they come into it. Yeah, I think as this is a demo stage, we can't actually climb in the karma tier 2 or 4, and I'm not going to open the gates because it's a shadow incursion is going to come in and just slaughter everyone, so we definitely don't want that. Ooh, including a demon. Maybe we'll do that right at the end and just see what it does to us. Yeah, other than that, the UI is very, very busy. There's a lot of stuff on here. There's buttons over there. There's stuff here. There's the open gates thing. I mean, this information up here should be just a mouse over information on the open gates, and the open gates button should be kind of in a corner or as part of a drop down under there or something like that. Make use of mouse over pop-ups so you can hide info from the screen until the player wants to know about that info, and then just turn it into something where they mouse over the button and the information pops up. I think that's the most valuable thing, to keep your UI uncluttered, but still, the information is still there when the player wants that info. Sounds, well, there's obviously not much sounds done in. I don't really like the pew 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 noise. It's very sort of computer gamey. Sort of a choral singing or something like that, or sort of a bass doom 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 when you are damaging the bad guys, just to give you kind of the sense of your own power and impressiveness. That would be nice. I think that would go a long way towards making this game more viscerally compelling to the players. Artwork, I think, is very, very cute. The only complaint I have here is we are too zoomed in, and I can't sort of get out the edge of the screen. These guys can walk out of my range. Why are they able to do that? This is supposed to be my realm. Why can I not see into the corners of it? How can the spirits get away from me? And why do they constantly wander around the edge? It would be nice if they came more into the middle. And along that note, it would be nice if they had stuff to do. If they sort of formed little I don't know, like houses or something that they went into or out of, or if they made little ritual things on the ground or something and sort of gathered around that, and give your souls a little bit more animation, a little bit more life would be my recommendation there, to make this really stand out against the watch a bunch of souls move around game. Obviously that needs a lot more effort in terms of animations and things like that, but yeah, I think it would be well worth it, sort of give your souls a bit more life. I don't really like this open gates mechanism. I think you should slowly, through it ticks, maybe every time the corruption timer ticks, instead of this pulse wave damaging all the souls, just every time that happens, a soul appears somewhere on the map, and you can either convert him, or he's a red soul, or he's one of the special kinds of blue ones, or he's a demon or something like that. And then there's a small chance of just an incursion happening that you then have to go and deal with. That would be my suggestion for change the gameplay mechanic there, is get rid of the open the gates thing, have this thing then just pop a soul in, and he's, it's a soul you have to deal with one way or another. Either have to boost his faith, or convert him, or get rid of him if he's one of the corrupted. And yeah, just the incursion is not something you can avoid, because why would I click on open gates again? I don't care about that. It's too much stuff happening. You get rid of a whole UI here, and you just have this effect happening. Maybe 3 souls appear every time this ticks down, and so there is this kind of randomization chance of them being either good or bad, or whatever. I think that would be a lot more interesting. And honestly, I don't really like this mechanism. Have your totem as something that the souls sort of gather around and come and visit and do little rituals in front of, or whatever, as they are believers or something like that. But don't have it be this click thing where you spit out the faith. And in as much as this is a fun mechanism, this little collect the faith by mouse overing it, just make that come from when you damage the enemy souls as a default, and then make the spiritual energy very, very slowly climb depending on the number of souls that you have. Don't have this intermediate stage in the middle, would be my suggestion, because this doesn't really help much. It doesn't do anything interesting. I don't really like it. It's not really a fun gameplay mechanic that is worth playing with. I don't like it. Have your people just give you straight spiritual energy very, very slowly, let that tick up, and don't have the totem in the middle. I don't understand the point of this gameplay mechanism wise. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not necessary. Just have your realm be more interesting. Don't have this thing in the middle. Have your people just directly give you spiritual energy, and get bonus spiritual energy from damaging bad guys, because it gives you a reason to like it when the bad guys enter, because you can get a little bit of spike of bonus spiritual energy. He's a bit low. I mean, that's really all my gameplay critiques. Obviously there's not a lot of UI stuff that's actually working at the moment to really critique that. I look forward to that eventually working. Make your souls a little bit more animated, give them more interesting things to do other than just wander around aimlessly, because what is this, like purgatory? I feel sad for them. Get rid of the gates, get this thing then to pop a soul or 2 in, start very, very low. That would be my suggestions there. Otherwise, I think it is a lovely game. I think there is a lot of potential gameplay here, gameplay mechanics, gameplay mechanisms that I think would make this a really, really enjoyable, fun time and experience for all. And obviously, just as a reminder, don't take my rambling as any kind of gospel truth. I'm just a dude on the internet, so listen to me or not, really, that is your choice. But please don't take me as a sole source of truth research and go to other people and see what they suggest and what they recommend. And yeah, thank you all of you who are here and listening to me. I really, really do appreciate it. I hope you had a good time, and I hope to see you in the next video. And I'm gonna say goodbye. So goodbye.